Ty Cobb, the White House lawyer handling the investigation into possible collusion between Donald Trump's campaign and Russia, is being replaced by Emmet Flood, a veteran attorney who represented former President Bill Clinton during his impeachment hearing. With Cobb's departure, the White House loses a strong voice in favor of the president sitting for an interview with Special Counsel Robert Mueller in his investigation into Russian election meddling. Cobb will retire at the end of May, the White House said in a statement. This is a normal change, former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, a new member of Trump's evolving legal team, said Wednesday in an interview. Emmet Flood is coming in to replace Ty, who he said has done a great job. While Flood's views on how to handle the Russia probe aren't clear, he does bring vast experience with an emphasis on asserting a president's constitutional prerogatives. That could come into play as Trump's legal team continues to negotiate a possible interview of the president by Mueller, whose team has said it could resort to a subpoena for Trump to appear before a grand jury. Mueller interviewed. We would be inclined to do it, Giuliani said of a potential interview, which could touch on Trump's firing of FBI Director James Comey. But if we came to conclusion they have already made up their mind and Comey is telling the truth, that is a joke. Comey hasn't told the truth in years, then we would just be leading him into the lion's den. In addition to representing Clinton, Flood assisted former President George W. Bush with a series of congressional inquiries, including the investigation into his firing of 7 U.S. attorneys. Flood didn't immediately respond to phone calls and emails seeking comment. The announcement of Cobb's departure came abruptly on Wednesday, just hours after he conducted an interview with ABC News in which he said people are working hard to make decisions and work towards an interview with Mueller. Assuming that can be concluded favorably, there'll be an interview, Cobb said in the interview. Earlier this week, The Times published a list of more than 40 questions it said that Mueller's team wanted the president to answer. The questions focused on conversations between the Russian government and his campaign, as well as actions Trump took related to possible obstruction of justice. Trump has previously said he'd be willing to meet with the special counsel, though will defer to the advice of his attorneys. Trump may get involved in House Republicans' rift with DOJ. The switch is the latest change on a Trump legal team that has been defined by upheaval. Last month, Giuliani joined the group of lawyers outside the White House after the former head of that team, John Dowd, quit earlier this year amid disagreements about strategy. From the start, Trump's legal team has been outmanned by Mueller's. While Mueller had a team of more than a dozen seasoned prosecutors at the prime of their careers, Dowd had decades of experience with large-scale investigations but was in solo practice and nearing retirement. Jay Sekulow, now Trump's lead attorney in Mueller's probe, brought a background in constitutional law but had no experience with a major criminal probe. Neither had the resources of a major law firm to draw on. After Dowd's departure, Sekulow struggled to find another lawyer with experience in white-collar investigations to help after several high-profile lawyers turned down the work because of conflicts of interest or concerns about the negative publicity that could come from being involved. About a month later, Sekulow said Giuliani would be joining the legal team, along with Florida-based white-collar defense lawyers Martin and Jane Raskin. In March, The Times reported that Flood could be tapped to join Trump's legal team. Trump called it a false story, and said he was very happy with his attorneys, including Dowd, Cobb, and Sekulow. For several weeks Ty Cobb has been discussing his retirement, and last week he let Chief of Staff Kelly know he would retire at the end of this month. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said in a statement Wednesday,